Yes, the 20th Avenue podcast with your favorite podcaster, Dumisani Ncube. Yeah, I'm holding it down with the goddess Mrs. Hip Hop. It's a classified podcast episode with none other than Sasa Class. Yeah. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, as usual.
Yeah. It's been a long time, man. Where have you been hiding? I only see you on social media throwing jabs at people. Yeah.
Am I throwing jabs or are they throwing jabs and I'm just defending myself?
Just defending yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's just start with a little bit of foundation, reminding one or two people who Sasa Class is before we get into the deep stuff, the interesting one. Yeah, so who's Sasa? Sarunaki man.
Do I still need to answer that question?
Yeah. For the Y2Ks.
They definitely know. Who is Sasa? In terms of what? I mean, I can describe myself as so many things, but I guess it's a thing of perception. I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, I'm a child of God, I am an actress, a presenter, and I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah. All right. So talking about the current state of hip hop, you're one person who has taken that craft so seriously. What can you say about the current state of hip hop? Because a lot of critics are saying that the game has gone down compared to where it was a few years ago.
I feel like people that say like it's gone down sound like bitter, like old heads. I feel like hip hop is at its hype right now. It is what's controlling the culture in the world. Literally every race is either gaining from hip hop culture in terms of the way that they dress, in terms of the music that they listen to, in terms of what influences their lifestyle. So I feel like hip hop is really at its peak in terms of influence. In terms of lyricism, man, we started off with a hip hop hippie, the hippie to the hip hop hippie. So who are we to really judge these 2000?
Yeah. All right. So talking about your interactions on social media, like there are times whereby you get to be the subject, whereby people attack you because of who you are, because of maybe what they've heard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. You once spoke of like encouraging your fellow peers artists to work hard despite the pandemic. And someone responded saying that you're speaking out of privilege because your mom is a legislator, she's a minister. And you came out saying that I was Sasa Class before my mom became a minister. How do you handle this, like all these jabs and stuff like that? I feel like you're
I feel like I don't care. The main reason I put it on social media is to teach the next person that might be watching, because in my personal life, I promise you, once I put my phone down, I am where I am and I'm living my life. But for people that speak and say that I speak from a point of privilege, they don't know anything about my life. And my mom has always taught me to be an independent, outspoken woman, as she is. So whenever I speak, it's from a point of uplifting and never from a point of, look, I'm better than you, I did this. So yeah. All right.
But how is it like the hit? Like, do you take it personal in the heart? Like no, I'm going to mess up with this person. Like, they don't know who I am. I'm Sasa Class. Like, I'm from the streets.
I'm not from the streets, first of all.
Yeah.
But no, it's not personal. Like I say, I represent a lot of women that are constantly being put down, especially in an industry where I wasn't even welcomed in the first place. It took a lot for me to earn my stripes in my circle and then in my industry. So I'm still continuing to fight. Every day I have to validate my thoughts or my intelligence, because people look at me and assume that I don't have anything to say or any opinion. So I'm constantly fighting for women that feel like that, which is the reason why I can't be silent about certain issues. I feel like it's very ignorant to choose not to teach people to be better.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So this morning before I left my house, I was reading. I was going through like different papers. And I read that there's a Botswana chick. She's not based in Botswana. She's based in South Africa. She went out with her sugar daddy, her blesser. They traveled to an island. And the old man, like after everything they'd done and did, he just disappeared and left the chick stranded.
Oof. Yeah.
Stranded at the island and stuff like that. Well, what's your take about this lifestyle? Is it a lifestyle or it's a profession of young girls like dating?
I feel like it's a decision that individuals make. Everybody in the scenario is a complete moron because one, had the man promised to give this woman anything, then he is a complete douchebag for leaving her stranded. I feel like that is wrong. And as for the woman, thinking that a man is going to consider her feelings having promised only money, you're also dumb. So everybody in this scenario is dumb. If I were to encourage any woman, please, I'm not saying these men deserve zero. Men deserve zero, they must pay. But have the ability to pay for yourself in case shit hits the fan. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, they need to. Men, if they're going to constantly live off the patriarchy, then if you're in that position of power, then you need to be prepared to spend money. But girls, they don't give a fuck. These niggas don't give a fuck. Work hard, make your own money, for just in case.
All right.
Somebody else to know the song.
Add more bass.
Hey, baby. What's up? Here, babe, here's something to drink. Please talk to me. Why are you on your phone? Babe.
What?
Talk to me.
What do you want from me?
You've been out of the house the whole day. Say something.
So what? I'm out there hustling. You
Get off your phone. Get off your phone. Get off your phone.
No. Can you give me some space right now?
No. Just talk to me.
Just leave me alone.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
You know what? I can't do this anymore. That's why I hate this. I hate this.
Hey, yo, Baxton. I heard you got a crush on me, but I also heard you got a girlfriend, but you know she ain't got it like me. Look, you ain't gotta be my man, but the best things in life ain't free. Throw a stack, you gon' work for me. Clockin' 24/7, 360, yeah. You can count on me, I'll throw it back like it's 93. I'll have you singing like, oh, I throw it back like it's 93, like, oh. She ain't got it like me, cause I got it like, oh. I have you singing like, ooh, I have you singing like, Yo, check, eat it up, gon' baby, eat it up. Before you get nasty, yeah, beat it up. I might just come right in like eat it up. Like I'm proud of you, tell you to keep it up. They want you around me, don't fall in love. Cause I'd rather get higher than sip it up. Oh, get all this paper like Audemars. Said I get all this paper like Audemars. Make it worth it, baby. All that talk, it don't really face me. I'm all about that action like Vinny. So baby, I get furious fast if you can't please me. Really, girlfriend, but you know she ain't got it like me. Look, you ain't gotta be my man, but the best things in life ain't free. Throw a stack, you gon' work for me. Clockin' 24/7, 360, yeah. You can count on me, I'll throw it back like it's 93. I'll have you singing like, oh, I throw it back like it's 93, like, oh. She ain't got it like me, cause I got it like,
You don't like this one?
like, ooh, I have you singing like,
Yeah, Lo, ke tlala ka wena ngwanyana. Ka re ntsamela ka molemo wa Setswana. Bro, you drive me crazy knowing about our first time. On palungwa la go gela wa bananas. Wente jwa go kwa boitse. Ha ke go nagana maikutlo a kugega. Hey, ebile nka re nka go founela sa arabe mogala ke a pule. Shapa ka tla di mothana wa budula. Pretty red lips o jama budula. O lonjisitse shabana. No sa moroka foroko mare go na le leswana.
heard you got a girlfriend,
Yeah, I got a girlfriend.
but you know she ain't got it like me.
Like you.
You ain't gotta be my man,
Yeah.
but the best things in life ain't free. Throw a stack, you gon' work for me. Clockin' 24/7, 360, yeah. You can count on me, I'll throw it back like it's 93. I'll have you singing like, oh, I throw it back like it's 93, like, oh. She ain't got it like me, cause I got it like, I have you singing like, ooh, I have you singing like,
around your neck. Fake gold chains. You a broke ass name. Of course I ran with the other nigga who ran his lane. I'm making money. I ain't even gonna need to rap. But if I let loose, let niggas like awesome. Who goes harder than cops? Niggas ain't got the boss. Niggas are bang. These all they got is the bus. That's what sets us apart. Keeping on me. I'm getting off of the law. I'm free, finish and God. Isaiah Teddy is a bitch ass nigga.
Yes, if you're looking for the best, it's that one and only. Ain't nobody do it better, you can bet it on me. I'ma put your on hold if you acting phony, but you gon' get that exclusive thing if you're checking for me. You checking for me, get it shorty, and the rest is on me. Rest is on me, how the hell we looking so fresh, so clean? And you know we ain't gon' back it up, slow it down. I'ma say that's enough, throw it down. Stop it, otherwise tone it down. We do it bigger, man, cause don't nobody do it bigger than. Stretch it easy on a hype train. Man, these lyrics so ahead, it's like a migraine. Get some aspirin. What you know about the vibe? A charm snakes controlling these vipers. Flow so good, it's minus. And a touch Midas, finest. Ain't nobody like us.
Now all they do is follow me. Follow me. Everyone here just follow me. Follow me now, all they do is follow me. Follow me, all they blame is all on me.
Okay, cool, look, undoubtedly I am one of the best to do it. Those who doubted me, cowardly, driving crazy, knew it. They bitter, they feel away every time I show up. I'm running the city, overlapping, no slow down. See the blow up was inevitable, it was critical. Spinning unforgettable syllables, so incredible. Bring the realest, every bar for me is credible. Give me money, give me deposit when credit due. And needs to get in the palm, it's so comfortable. You can try, but you cannot fit my designer shoes. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Not on Twitter to make it, you gotta study me. I didn't wanna be that earning salaries. Instead wanted to be that giving salaries. Steady burning paper and not calories. Smoking even when I'm local, I am overseas.
Now all they do is follow me. Follow me. Everyone here just follow me. Follow me now, all they do is follow me. Follow me, all they blame is all on me. It's 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 all on me.
Yo, that's class over over swag, you know what's up. Get your funds up. We go party all night till the sun up. Name is such a class, show me mad love. And the Huns in the back, busy trying to act tough. She gon' follow the leader. But feel the pressure since I feature with Caesar. Cause they can't live up to the pressure that I answer. When this Hun so lit like a cancer stick. What you rich, got them bands on me. What you drinking, man, it's all on me. And we're drinking way past 3, drinking way past 3. Yeah, they call me queen and I'm the one and only. Gave y'all 2 years and I was getting lonely. Salsa visa stretch, it's a problem story. Salsa visa stretch, making history.
All they do is follow me. Follow me. Everyone here just follow me. Follow me now, all they do is follow me. Follow me, and all they blame is all on me. It's all on me, yeah.
I don't trust no female best friend. Like, there is no way. I don't have none of those. And even if I do, I know their intentions.
They want to tap and go.
They want to ravage. These niggas are wild. They'll be there like waiting for you to break up with your boyfriend. They'll be like, oh, don't call him back. Oh, I've always known that guy's an asshole. Really? Did you?
Yeah. Speaking of bedroom studios, they've ended a lot of young female musicians' careers. Some fall pregnant along the way before they can even finish recording their mixtape or album or anything. Have you not been a victim of whereby producer like, let me put you on, no, just open the thighs into the mamu?
A victim of pregnancy?
Not a victim of pregnancy. But,
well, Cardi B had an amazing career, and just when she blew up, she got pregnant and she managed to take over the world. But as for being a victim, like I said, it has nothing to do with the women that have been victims of being told to open their legs. It is more so on the person that's taking advantage of a person that needs help and asks them to open their legs. But yes, I have been a victim of that, and obviously, because I'm that bitch, I say, fuck you.
And the second question, this one I loved a bit, and asked myself, should I ask? But I was like, anyway, it's the fans, they want to know. So this question is in two parts. They say, do you still remember your first kiss and the day you broke your virginity?
First of all, I'm a virgin. First of all, but oh, my first kiss was the most. I go back and I think about that, like that was the worst experience of my life. I never kissed anybody like maybe for 2 years because this person traumatized me. Like their tongue was like right down my throat. So I lied, like terrible experience. I hated my first kiss.
Okay. Are you done responding?
I'm done.
Oh, so you answer the first part first.
Yes.
The second part first, I mean.
Yes.
Okay. A few weeks ago, you had a social media exchange with a journalist, Daniel Kinosi. He mentioned that you were involved in a certain, if I can put it, a sexual act. Yeah. So in response, people were not happy, and like he was even trending and stuff like that. So along those conversations, a friend and a media practitioner, Do the Party, mentioned that like there's the conversation.
There's a lot of rape connotation to what he was saying. Rape
connotation and rape culture and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend what he was saying was true. What I do decide to do with my body, whether it's with 1 million people or whether it's with one, has nothing to do with you. It is my consent on who I allow into my body, first of all. And second of all, none of what he said was remotely true. And the unfortunate thing about Dan Kenosi is a lot of the things that he says, which I feel is extremely dangerous, he lies a lot. And he has admitted to me about lying about a lot of things that he has said. And that for me is extremely dangerous, especially because of his opinion and his platform. Because what kind of information are you distributing and making your followers feel comfortable talking about, especially men. So what he said wasn't necessarily GBV. It's not like he attacked me physically, you know, they were just words, but it does encourage GBV through not respecting women's consent, respecting women's decisions to live their life. So yeah.
All right, well said. So like this rapey culture, it seems like something which is common amongst us men. And how do we like take it out of us? How do we take it out of us? Because I've had conversations whereby I haven't heard, but I've heard people saying, maybe she was raped because she was wearing something which was revealing.
I actually don't even want to go into that conversation. It's so annoying. Men know that it is wrong. To keep on continuing to be like, stop that, what you're doing, you know it's wrong, it has nothing to do. Men who rape and men who physically harass women know what they're doing is wrong. They absolutely do. It's the empathy and the care to not do it. I personally, as a woman, feel like I don't want to address men anymore. You know what you're doing is wrong. You need to fix yourselves mentally. You know that there's something unstable about you. Go and fix yourself to fix the reason why you feel you need validation from overpowering a woman to make you feel like a man. That for you is for you to deal with. You are an absolute pathetic and excuse of a man if you feel like you need to validate yourself by making somebody feel inferior.
Right. As a woman, a hip hop queen, like you're good looking, you're sexy and everything.
Thank you.
Have you had like personal like experiences whereby maybe you're walking on stage, like someone tries to jump on you, force themselves on you, or even when you're walking on the street, be like, oh, there's a class.
I feel like this. My story isn't special. Whether I'm beautiful, or whether I'm sexy, or whether I'm an artist, a lot of women will tell you that they have dealt with sexual harassment or molestation or anything remotely close. So I obviously have dealt with it, and any woman would tell you that she has been a victim of such.
All right. No, this is a too sensitive subject.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping I'll take responsibility also in teaching my young ones on these issues and stuff like that, and I hope like relevant authorities and elders within the community will do the same.
Yeah, I feel like now, even as a woman, I'm tired of discussing it. Men need to deal with their gender and need to talk until we will still keep on grouping you guys together and say all of you are like this, because all of as a unit, I don't care who you are, whether you were my grandfather, you're my father, or whoever, as long as you're not making it your main mission to change the perspective of the next man, we group you all together, all men.
Yeah. Okay. So moving forward, how to already break in?
Is that what the streets are saying?
There's a little bit which you spotted in my ear.
Okay.
So how's it going?
How's what going?
How's the relationship going?
Which relationship?
With Bexon.
You said khate and I didn't say yes.
You
so
didn't
you're
say
just
yes.
making assumptions.
All right.
Assumptions are being made, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, on a more serious note. All right. So have you been approached by these old tycoons, like these flamboyant big guys?
I get approached by like all sorts of people. So, I don't know who's big or who's not. It's just.
Let's say if one of these tycoons approaches you and like, yeah, you know what, baby girl, let's go to Madagascar for the weekend. Drop everything that you're doing.
I mean, it's the same as meeting like a random boy at university and he's like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Would you like to go and ride quad bikes with me? For me, it's not really about like the person's financial position. It's just like, do I like you? Whether you have a billion bula or whether you have 10 bula, it's how you approach me. So if I decide to leave the country with a multi-millionaire who respects me, that's my decision. I'll be very happy to do that. But men are assholes whether they're broke or they're not. So it's the same. they'll cheat on you whether they broke or not. So it's the same.
That we have lost a legend, we have lost the biggest rapper in terms of the ladies side in Botswana. She has been doing great, she has been doing wonderful, doing a lot of collabos with such Bexons, such as a lot of artists in Botswana. And guys, it is so hard for me to actually continue with this broadcast, but I have to do this. We can see different sources over social network that indicates how the death came about, how things came about, and let's go through them and see what happened. And indeed, we have lost a great legend, a wonderful lady, a wonderful young lady who has been doing greater things, who has been like the talk of the town, you know. And it's very painful, and may her soul rest in peace. As we go around and see what other sources came about on the issue of her death, may her soul rest in peace. And as a country, let us be strong and let's pray for her family. It is so painful, and I still don't believe it. But anyway, it is life at the end of the day. Only God knows. Stay tuned and make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And let's see what other sources say.
The self-proclaimed Mrs. Hip Hop passed away at the age of 27 following a tragic and controversial helicopter crash. Sasa Class rose to prominence with the blockbusters Akemo Kandeng and Mamongwato and continued to release several more hits over the years. She made successful collaborations which dominated the music charts, making Sasa Class a household name. The devastating news of the rapper's unfortunate death broke cyberspace on Saturday. There's been an outpour of grief on social media, with Sasa's friends, fans, and family sharing their thoughts. Local superstars also shared their grief, and this is what they had to say.
This statement from the family. We are all, I'm sure that you are all, yourselves as the media and the general public, interested in knowing as how Sasa came to her end. Just as ourselves as a family, we are still in shock as the way Sasa left us. So I would like to also thank the general public and yourselves for the interest and the support they have given the family. With that, I would like to start by reading. It is with heavy hearts that we receive the news of the passing of our beloved Sasa, popularly known as Sasa Class, daughter, granddaughter, sister, cousin, friend, and renowned hip-hop artist. Late Friday afternoon of the 5th, Sasa left telling her mother that she was going to the CKGR that she was coming back on Sunday. However, she did not divulge who she was going with, how she was getting there, or what her mission was. Information on the passing of Sasa came to us as a family on the Saturday of the 6th of March 2021. The scanty information that we received was that she had flown to the CKGR with a certain Leonard Matenje using a helicopter, and that the helicopter had crashed. Sasa did not make it from this accident, while the pilot sustained some minor injuries. This information was confirmed to her mother that she was declared dead at 2 a.m. on Saturday of the 6th of March 2021 at Soldier Clinic. We've been made to understand that as this was an air crash, and that the investigations are carried out by the Civil Aviation Authority, not the Botswana Police. Such investigations are still ongoing, and we are awaiting the official report.
Borre, ora botari bo se wa sokola ka kwano. Yo tshwereng sanitizer o tsamele ka kwano gore ga ba hetsa go tlhoma ke seo ba tlhapise matsogo. The flower e nang ha godimo lone ka tsamela ka kwano ra morago ga nako. Thank you very much. Please make sure you sanitize your hands. There's Auntie Liz there to help you sanitize your hands. Make sure your phone is on silent. We have entered a holy place, a very sacred place. I wouldn't appreciate any phone ringing. Thank you very much. At this juncture, I will hand over to the pastors to continue with the official burial.
Mo leineng la rara borwa le mo ya boitshepo rra Jehova fantate ya siameng e bua madi a gago mo lefelong le mo lapeng la ngwana rona la bofelo Jehova rra. We speak the blood of Jesus. We smear the blood of Jesus in this place. Moleki wa ka rra, we decree and we declare gore lefelong le moleki wa rra mo ngwana rona a robalang teng ke lefelo le la apegileng. Baengele ba gago a ba tsamaye moleki wa ka nako tsotlhe ka mo ba laetseng ka teng, ka mo ba romileng ka teng. Moleki wa ka rra go leboga, o siame rra, o siame kgosi ya dikgosi. Amen and amen.
Please, when those who are standing there, let's make sure we social distance.
So it looks like Risego, ever since he found out that I also presented, he has me doing his job now. Looks like I am here chilling with Baxin, Mabexo, Bakang. Some people call you baby. I won't mention any names. How are you doing?
Sebaka sa rona ke palelwa ke go lala ke gopola nako tsa rona pelo robala sile sebaka sa rona ke palelwa ke go lala ke gopola nako tsa rona sile pelo yone gana go amogela o ntlogetse ka botlhoko jo bo seng kana ka sepe o sa lae ha ne ke tsilore ke letsatsi la bofelo ke go bona nka bo ke go sune ke go atla ke go bolelela gore ke go rata thata oh they don't know how I feel. You said to feel like other memories. All I hear is your melodies. We made so much harmony. Thank you for the memories. Ke lebogela tse molemo tso di ntiretseng motla re kopana re tla gopola nako tsotlhe tso di tlogetseng mo a go lale ka kagiso ko go robetseng ke lebogela tse molemo tso di ntiretseng motla re kopana re tla gopola nako tsotlhe tso di tlogetseng Good morning, guys. I wasn't going to do this. I am now forced to do this because all this time, ever since the passing of Sarona, I've seen so many people, not everyone, people out there, let me just say social media,
I mean, we wanna have like getting out of your way. Like, it's not like I haven't been seeing negative comments, all this negative energy. Like, I'm talking about some people. As for others, yes, I've been seeing so much positivity, so much love, and I appreciate that from my side. What I'm trying to talk about right now, how would you feel? How would you feel? Kore, every day is a constant reminder on social media, kore, guys, this is still sensitive for some people, by or they genuinely loved that person. We don't care about the cancer, no. We are still mourning Sarona, guys. I'm still mourning Sarona. Her family is going through a lot. Her friends, her closest friends, they are going through a lot. This past week has been really difficult for me, because Otlaberunsunze or receive a call from a media house, the Pampiri, the radio station, they want interviews. I mean, like, guys, why now? Why now? Why can't you let her soul rest in peace? Just for content. Why are you doing this? Why can't you let the poor girl rest in peace? Why can't you let her rest? Why? Why can't you do that? At least give her the respect. Give her family time to mourn her. Give her friends time to mourn her. And as for you, they can disrespect Sarwa. Yeah, they can say whatever they want. Come on, Lord. So don't even try act for you are breaking down or what. Don't even try do that. Please just let her rest. That's all that I wanted to say to you guys. Some of us are still trying to find help, because it's really a difficult situation for me right now. But I'll be fine. They've been sending words of comfort in. It's still a tough time. It's still tough for us right now. Still tough for Midland. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Kimaru, nigga, what the hell are you doing, dog?
Yo, what's up, man? No, I'm just taking some selfies, yo, no. I'm taking some selfies.
Yes, nigga.
Oh, man. What does?
I see you, dog. I see you.
Yo.
Oh, man, check this out. That's Sasa Clash right there.
Ooh,
See that booty right there, my nigga?
Is that Sasa?
Yeah, nigga.
Oh, damn, bro.
Nigga, I would definitely do her, dog.
Oh.
She hot.
Shit, man.
Yeah, but hot, but I think.
Oh, come on.
How about I think these, bro? Oh. Fuck. In fact, you know what? Let me do something. Just hold up right
now. Nah, man, what are you doing, young? Nah, man, stop that shit.
Send this shit, nigga.
No, stop that shit. That's not cool.
I'ma send it.
Stop it.
No, stop. Go on, nigga.
What the fuck are you doing?
See that? She gonna kill me, dog. Yeah, nigga, let's wait on her response, dog. I'ma wait on her response, nigga.
How you relax to the things?
Oh, she just replied, dog. Giving dog. She crazy, nigga. I love that girl. She crazy, man. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'ma do something. I'ma fuck with her head, dog. This track coming out, nigga. This track's coming out. Let me type everybody. Tell my people this track coming out.
No, man. Why are you dissing Sasa, man?
Cause I'm crazy, dog. I'm crazy.
Yo, it's Young Maze, y'all. Yo, it's Young Maze, man.
Is everything.
Yo, see. Say I come in love. Say I come in love. Say I come in love. I make mama cry for they daughter sons I kidnapped, bitch. Make the cops look incompetent, say it was an accident, bitch. Cause I still be on that pimp shit, I might bitch slap a bitch. Cause you wanted to talk my dick for killing wrong. Fuck you saying, bitch. Waro mama to ako Areng marao garata pila. And that kitty kinda loose. Udiro go rata di pipi. Ozi evaruli gila wata nagadi chachi so tamar stillness I grita. Arnata bugila lo wane moholo ngetona. And that's why I can never ever say escape the pool. Used to eat polish shit with no meat. That's the reason why we like the beef. Catch a nigga in the streets. Black beside the baba niggas on creek. This is 24, 50 times, keep it 1,200. Yeah, you do the math, then cocaine, cause you're a dumb ass in the butt crack. That fuck. How can I fail to get a feature from you when I let my manager hit it? President, you gotta let my people tell you same thing before I hit it. Yo, I told a rapper, why you think he say hell like a one? Emma, how'd you was woke up at 1:30? Bitch, you thinking you a star? Pussy smell like you star. Put you in ICU in shock. Someone had to pull the plug. I'm the one to eat your children. I'm the devil. Hold the Bible on my puto slinging coca. Don't touch me, I'm a psycho. All the shots I administer.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you, I try to explain to these passport for pussy ass niggas that female nature is universal. I've recently been teaching black men who don't already know that a woman's love, I don't care what corner of the globe you're talking about going to, is indeed conditional in more than 90% of the cases. And what I mean by this is, sure, you can be a poor nigga and fall in love with a poor bitch. But if at any time it gets to a point where you get on the come up and you become wealthy, that bitch is not gonna love you as hard, if she's like most females, as if you lose everything and y'all go back to being poor. Likewise, a rich man can meet and fall in love with or start dating, be in relationship with, or fuck a poor woman. But you can't count on 10 fingers the amount of times in your life or in history where you've seen that happen the other way around. I mean, most guys are lucky enough to get so much as even a peck on the cheek after taking these bitches out on 3 dates. If, of course, she don't want to fuck you or fuck with you. And this is a prime example of what the fuck I'm talking about. When I try to explain to these stupid ass niggas, including these passport for pussy ass niggas, that a female's love is conditional, and, well, we know these hoes ain't loyal. I mean, that really goes without saying. But that it don't matter the language, the color, or the creed. 9 times out of 10, female nature is universal. Now, what's particularly interesting about this case is that this story takes place in Southern Africa. Yeah. Now, there are quite a few places I'm going to go with this. Okay? There's, as David Carroll would say, there's a lot in this. But let me tell you, before we even get to this, okay, we got to go back. I got to take you guys back just briefly in time to help you understand where we're at, okay, as far as the so-called motherland.
I told you guys back in 2011, well, I don't know if I told you the year, but back in 2011, I was dating a Ghanaian female. And she was light-skinned, mixed, like this Thot Bimbo was. And she told me about how she got so much worship and praise from students, but mainly faculty and staff, at this primary school when she first started going to school, because her mother was white and her father was African. Okay? And it was simply because she was light-skinned. But prior to her, because after 11 months of dating, and she was over here as a student, but after 11 months of dating, the relationship fell apart. She kept asking me for money to send back home to her mom, and then I found out that she was doing something else with it, and that kind of sparked a huge argument and fight amongst us. I'm not going to get into all the details, but what I pretty much figured out was this was a gold digging ass biatch that was, pretty much just kind of using me for resources. And whenever I refused or said I didn't have it, the bitch started tripping. When I gave it to her, oh baby, I love you, oh you're so wonderful, oh blah blah blah, fucking blah blah blah. And I don't think I've ever told you guys any of those details. I mean, they're very vague, but almost every man can relate to that shit. And again, this was eons ago. This was over 10 years ago when I was still in simp mode and hadn't come to my senses about the treachery of these fucking bitches across the board, but especially these nigger bitches. I have told you this part though. Prior to being with that Ghanaian girl, that Ghanaian female, that Ghanaian student, I had this false assumption that African people, because they avoided, their ancestors avoided the transatlantic slave trade, I had this false assumption that they were more sovereign, like people of African origin from the motherland. I had this false assumption that they were more sovereign, that they were more loyal, and that they were more unified with each other. I had this assumption, I had this picture in my head. As a matter of fact, there was a very brief period in my life where I called myself being pro-black, and I contemplated moving to Africa to marry a black wife. Well, that wasn't the only reason, but I contemplated moving to Africa and starting a family there to avoid, all the liberalism and race mixing that was going on over here. And again, this is eons ago, bro. 10 years ago. I openly admit, I have admitted from the moment I came on ScrewTube as Brian motherfucking Solange that, like Malcolm X said, I was once a criminal. That's not the disgrace. To remain a criminal is the disgrace. A lot of these niggas on here, including some of the ones that claim to be co-signing with the likes of me and David Carroll, are still fucking simps. Like that bitch Olivia Alexa said, so a lot of these motherfuckers are one hello away from, rolling out the red carpet for some raggedy ass bitch. So, this happened eons ago. But the fact of the matter is, I was under the assumption many moons ago that African black people, those from the motherland, authentic African people that may know their culture and they may know their ancestors, their tribe, the native language of Africans, the religion. I was under the assumption that they were innately different than African Americans. And I maintained this theory for a very long time. including during the time, the early years of producing content on YouTube as Brian Solange. I think I even gave a couple of African countries a shout out. And this, mind you, was after I had the falling out with this black bitch. But I will say this, the relationship I had, the rocky relationship I had with her was the first warning sign that something was fucking wrong with my theory. However, it wouldn't be probably for another 5-6 years. I'm talking, if memory serves me correctly, probably right around 2016, 2017, right when I reached, I didn't reach the peak. Well, I reached the prime. I was in the prime of content production in 2016 as Brian Solange. But I reached the peak as far as traffic and everything as Brian Solange on YouTube in 2018. It was somewhere between that 2016-ish and 2018-ish time period where I started to, like I did with so-called African Americans, I started to wake up and see the light about niggas over there. And I recall Akwesi even mentioned about how he wasn't impressed with them motherfuckers. And even Eddie Griffin called them out about how they, let the white man kidnap so many of us from over there, and they never sent one canoe across the Atlantic Ocean to come rescue us. And Akwesi was talking about, how Africans repeatedly prove how dumb they are by letting, like the Chinese, for example, come over there and buy up, land and resources, and the English and Dutch colonize and rule over them, even though they were a minority, yada, yada, yada. But for me, the wake-up point was when I saw this BBC documentary. And I told you guys about this. I made a whole video about it. It was a BBC documentary about the child sex trade epidemic in Kenya, where it's well known. The British, their foreign affairs, their Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been investigating like their citizens, mainly white men, older white men, leaving the UK and going to Africa specifically for the sole purpose of pedophilia. And in a lot of cases, it's well known that Western men, mainly Western white men, but other races of men too, they go to these third world countries to do shit, like drugs and sex with children and other illicit things that they can't get away with in their own country. It was just fucking disgusting. I mean, the documentary was showing cases of little girls as young as 6 or 7 years old in the hospital, in field hospitals and Red Cross hospitals with vaginal injuries and shit. The shit just really pissed me off. I'm not even gonna go over it because it literally makes me want to kill somebody, and that don't happen very often. But I don't even want to. Okay, let's just stop talking about that. But the point is, in the documentary, there was this one case where there was this white reporter, and the white reporter, he met with some people in a village in Kenya that's near a beach resort where it's known that a lot of white male tourists from places like the UK and the United States and Canada, they frequent, and often there's a lot of prostitution on that beach, right? And the BBC reporter in all of his investigations, or with whoever his guide was, his Kenyan guide, he was led to a village where one of the villages where a lot of child prostitutes come from to meet tourists along that beach, right? And so while he was interviewing these people, I noticed some really strange things. One of the things that I noticed was that all the people in the village, all the little black children, and so many of the adults, including the elders, meaning older people, that were in charge of the village, they were all around this white dude and his cameraman and his crew. And they were, I just figured, they're there for the interview. And he interviewed this one African Kenyan woman, and she was talking about the problem she was having with her 13-year-old daughter, about how she tell her daughter not to go to the beach when summertime comes around, but her daughter goes, she leaves and she goes out anyway, and she tricks with these white men, and she don't know what to do. She feels hopeless. She can't stop her daughter no matter how hard she tries. And I'll say this, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, a couple of comedians have mentioned this, but Africans, in that fucking accent that they have, if they speak English, they have a very unique, almost magnificent way of telling a lie that is unlike anything that I've ever seen before in my life as far as the art of lying. I mean, an African can literally tell you, the wall behind you is blue. Fear not, my friend, for everything will be okay. I turn around, sir, that wall is red. No, sir, you are incorrect and mistaken. Perhaps you have a problem with your eyesight, but I can assure you, with all of my research, the wall behind you is blue. Motherfucker, the wall is red. I'm looking at it. That's how Africans be lying though, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's like an art to them, bro. They be lying their ass off. So I'm like, hold on, whoa. Now, everybody that's grown in this village is talking about, and don't worry, we gonna get to this bitch, but I gotta do what David Carroll say. I gotta give y'all some perfunctory. I told y'all, we gonna light it up on this. I said, wait, something ain't making no goddamn sense here. Now, all these people in this village are complaining about white tourists coming here and molesting their children. And it's well known by the corrupt Kenyan government that this is happening. There are very few tourists that get prosecuted because, as you know, Kenya, like a lot of other places in the world, the Philippines, Thailand, the Caribbean, all those little islands on the Caribbean chain, they literally live, and their economy is heavily reliant on tourism. So it's very rare. I mean, you damn near have to murder somebody as a tourist to go to jail for anything over there. They don't want to scare the tourists away because that's like their lifeblood, bro. So I'm like, now if white men are such a problem and child molestation is such a problem and these people care for their children so much, why didn't they vet this white dude before A, they let him come in the village? B, why do they have a kid so close to this motherfucker? And C, why is the same 13-year-old little girl that her mama was just complaining about, leaving the house and going off, leaving the village and going to the nearby beach to trick with white men for money? Why is she letting her daughter unsupervised go off and walk along the same beach to show this white male reporter from the BBC where along the beach she meets with her clients to trick for money? And I'm like, well, the first thing I said, well, he's a reporter. But no, that's bullshit. We've seen on several cases where reporters were told to get off people's property. They were chased out. Sometimes they were shot at. Like, this dude shouldn't have been able to get nowhere near there until motherfuckers, vetted him. Or told him, motherfucker, we'll meet you outside the village. We don't want you to show our faces, our children's faces. No, you can't talk to our kids. I'm like, what the fuck? And after really thinking about it for a couple of days, it struck me like a motherfucking light bulb, bro. Especially when I got done watching the rest of the documentary, and they were talking about. I said I wasn't gonna go back to this, but they said that that African men that were involved in the sex trade over there, they would have sex with some of the black child victims to sexually prep them for the summertime when the white male tourists came around. Like I said, bro, fuck y'all's God. Fuck you and your God. That's all I got to say. I'm about to get mad. So I'm just going to leave that alone. So anyway, so after listening to all this satanic shit, it struck me like a fucking light bulb. Nigga, these white dudes aren't going over there and kidnapping children or, abducting children or taking advantage of children in the sense of luring them off somewhere or talking them into something. These kids are being sent to those beaches. And not only sent to those beaches by pimps, they're being sent to those fucking beaches by a lot of the village elders and a lot of the adults to trick with these white dudes. Why? Because the money that these child sex victims make from having sex, illicit sex with those white tourists is helping profit the fucking village. Because the kids are taking the money back to the village and giving it to the elders. That's why they were so thirsty when that fucking white reporter came in, that motherfucker. They had kids around him like a fucking ring. And that's when it struck me like a light bulb. Well, it was that and some other things. For Africa is fucked up. And I don't just mean with poverty. Psychologically, in a lot of them fucking places, whether you're talking about the civil war in Sudan, whether you're talking about the child sex slave trade in motherfucking Kenya, or whether you're talking about the nigger bed wenching in South Africa, even decades after white colonialism left there, Africa ruled by black people, militarily and socioeconomically, including the developed countries like South Africa and Botswana. Africa, on a psychological scale, is fucked the fuck up. And they're fucked the fuck up about as bad as these niggas over here. I mean, these are just facts, man. This is stuff. This is stuff that simply cannot be denied. And then to put the cherry on fucking top, when I shared that video with y'all that one of you brothers shared with me of the nigga bed wenches on that dating game show in South Africa that was fawning after that average looking white boy. I could understand if like he was a Channing Tatum, like a Hollywood movie star or a professional athlete. But this was an average looking white dude. He was surprised at how much play he was getting with them black bitches. He didn't have to spit no line. He didn't have to do nothing. Every single one of them hoes accepted him. But when the black dude stepped on after the white dude, all of them turned their lights off. And that's when I realized, bruh, like these niggas in Africa ain't no better than these hoe ass niggas over here. And then that led me to a theory. And the theory was that perhaps what we were told about slavery, because we know, history has told us, we know two wrongs don't make a right, but we know that certain tribes, certain dominant tribes in Africa sold other conquered tribes in Africa of black folks to the white slavers for the transatlantic slave trade. That's how it all started on the coasts of West Africa, including Ghana and the Ivory Coast. We know this, okay? But even then, this notion that we were brought up to believe that slavery, the institution of slavery somehow had such a profound effect on black people even after slavery, through the Reconstruction era, through Jim Crow, through the Civil Rights Movement, through the brief pro-black movement, through the crack era of the 1980s, through the hip-hop era of the 1990s, and into the millennial Generation Z and social media era, and what I call the Thoughtbot era of nowadays. Slavery has had that profound of an impact on us mentally. What white folks did to us over 200 years ago, starting over like 400 years ago, actually. I said, of course, I never fully believed that, but for me, there used to be a disconnect. Used to be, key word, used to be, key phrase, used to be at least a disconnect between the niggas over there in Africa and the niggas over here, in the sense that I always assumed that they weren't as fucked up as we were, and if they were, they weren't fucked up for the same reasons. But now I'm looking at this and I'm realizing something. Dude, they have problems with teen pregnancy over there. We know they got problems with gun violence, especially in South Africa. Black on black crime exploded after the end of the apartheid era and once Nelson Mandela became president. Don't let nobody fool you. Rainbow Nation wasn't shit. Okay? You better go do some motherfucking research on that motherfucker. Crime exploded in South Africa after the end of apartheid. Okay? Much like what happened in black communities after the end of the Civil Rights Movement. Okay? They had the same problem with black people who there are, unlike here, a majority, worshiping and deifying whiteness. Now you got the motherfucking Chinese coming in and doing decades later what white people were doing, colonizing. The only difference is, instead of, militarily dividing and conquering Africa, they're using their financial prowess to buy up stuff like land and real estate and natural resources from the rich earth in Africa to divide and conquer. And them niggas over there are more than happy to oblige and let them. You got Chinese businessmen going over there knocking up black thoughts and leaving them pregnant with little, what Chris Tucker said in the original Rush Hour, blacking these babies all over the fucking place. Just spreading their fucking Oriental seed all over fucking Africa, nigga. It's a fucking mess. And like I said, I ain't gonna even go back to the child sex slave trade in Kenya. And that's not the only place. You got civil wars in fucking Somalia and Sudan with niggas murdering the fuck out of each other. I mean, I realize, I say, wait a minute. Hold on. Now, we can say that the reason why this is happening is because the white man colonized parts of Africa like he did over here. But something about that don't make sense, because Africans have always been, they've always been the majority, which leads you to ask the question, how the fuck did they get colonized in the first fucking place? Okay? History has proven that a minority cannot permanently control a majority rule. Okay? It's just like when the U.S. Capitol got overran. How the fuck did that fucking happen? How? And it started to dawn on me that the reason why niggas were ruled for so long by white colonialists is the same reason why David Carroll say that these same fucking pro-blacks have white boyfriends and husbands and white wives and girlfriends. Cause these niggas want to be ruled by white folks. They love white people. That's why when Nelson Mandela became president, he kept all of the white people that was in the government, including the presidential guard from the SAS that were used to torture political prisoners. including some of his friends. He kept them all in the administration and told them, no, you ain't gotta leave. We can be friends. Like, what the fuck? Y'all was just kicking my ass in Robben Island prison. What the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? That's why I say, man, don't come to me telling me about no motherfucking Nelson Mandela. I told y'all, I'm getting Africa tonight. Africa is getting it in. It ain't just gonna be this stupid asshole, dead asshole. Africa is getting it in tonight. That's all I gotta say. Africa is getting it the fuck in. And if you from Africa, I'm sorry, but this shit about to get dragged because it's been a long time fucking coming. I've touched on Africa before, and then I forget even the fucking skin lightening epidemic over there with bitches that are so fucking thirsty and desperate to be light skinned, including this bitch right here. They so fucking desperate to be light skinned. Not only are they lightening their skin, in some parts, I think in Kenya they say like 70% of women in Kenya use skin lightening products. In a place where a majority of Kenyans and Africans are predominantly dark skinned black. How can you go through your motherfucking life? Okay, there's the TV and the media, but come on, son. From birth, you was waking up looking at that black charcoal looking niggas. How the fuck can you grow up in an environment like that and still want to be white? I can understand that somewhat over here because everything's been Eurocentricized. You know, we were separated from our culture and you know, everything we see has a Eurocentric standard, including a Eurocentric beauty standard, and that's always the excuse that black women use for straightening their hair and swirling out and all this shit. But you know, it's like, what is their excuse over there? What is their excuse over there, nigga? Black women are putting their lives at risk by using, by going to the underground black market to get skin lightening chemicals, bleaching their skin with, in some cases, chemicals that have been proven to cause cancer. These bitches are over there getting cancer trying to lighten their motherfucking skin. And so, at this point, it's just like several other rabbit holes I walked down. I walked down the rabbit hole about black people. I walked down the rabbit hole about black women. I walked down the rabbit hole about black men. I walked down the rabbit hole about Christianity and religion. I never had to walk down the rabbit hole about the Democratic Party and politics because I never voted and nor did I ever care to in the first fucking place. I don't believe that strangers are going to change a goddamn thing for me. And then I walked down the rabbit hole of Africa and I realized not only are them niggas as fucked up over there as they are over here, the source of the problem of niggerdom as we know it and the dysfunction and degeneracy that it brings must be rooted in the same place as it is over here, over there. Because you can't tell me that them motherfuckers that had their own media, where like 95% of the continent is dark-skinned black, are somehow being that influenced by white folks, most of whom aren't even there anymore, especially after the end of colonialism. Botswana, where this shit went down with this bitch, is between South Africa, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. It is one of the most economically successful countries in Africa. It's in the top 4 for gross domestic product, GDP, and it's one of the fastest rising economies in the world. Botswana is even ahead of fucking South Africa. Okay, when you go to Botswana, like, you see bustling suburbs, store, like shit you see over here. I mean, it's not places like that in other parts of Africa, but I'm saying niggas are doing, where they're doing well, they are doing very well in Botswana. But they still have a huge problem with mental fuckery over there. They have a huge problem with thotism over there. Motherfucking 20% of the Botswanan population has HIV or AIDS. 20%. 20% of 2.3 million people is a very small country in population. But 20 motherfucking percent. Nigga. That's 1/5 of the population has HIV. I tell you this, okay? Because we're about to get on the story of this whole Sasa class. Now, obviously, she was lightening her skin, but also and putting fake up on, like these raggedy bitches over here. But also, obviously, she was a fine ass bitch. I mean, it is what it is. But I tell you this, I didn't even know, honestly, because I wasn't looking that hard. I mean, like I said, I dated an African woman. She was alright, but, you know, a little too much meat in some places, whatever. Subject for another video. But I'll say this, I didn't know they had that many, like, fine women, like black women in Africa, as they did over here. I thought females over there were, like, either extremely skinny or extremely fat, depending on what part of Africa you are. They got a lot of bitches from the motherland with curves over there. I'll say that. Now, this female, her shit could be fake. It may be. You never know with these bitches unless they announce it or unless you saw it. But just from where it stood, before this stupid hoe died in this helicopter crash, she was fine. But I tell you this, I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie clip from Lord of War where Nicolas Cage, he was in his hotel room in Rwanda, and some fucking warlord gonna send 2 black female prostitutes to his room. I think they were Imani or something, and he just closed the door on them 2 bitches. He was like, it's not that I'm racist, but he said there's not a condom within 1,000 miles of this place. Man, if you stick your motherfucking dick in anything in Africa, you might as well put a 357 Magnum to your motherfucking head and blow your goddamn head off, bro. 20% of the population. And you want to talk to me about COVID-19? Nigga, if you don't get your goof ass out of here with that bullshit, that shit blew my fucking mind. 20% of the population. So it's very likely that this fucking hoe who, let's just say, like these hoes over here in America, she got around, so to speak. She may have had HIV. I don't know. This is what I do know. These hoes ain't shit. They ain't shit in Brazil. They ain't shit in Botswana. They ain't shit in motherfucking South America. And I don't have to say they ain't shit over here because you already knew that. These hoes ain't shit. No matter what the language, color, or fucking creed. So here we go. So I got wind of this story back in, I think, mid to late May. It happened in early March. This very well known, very popular, she was a TV host / hip hop artist. She was a rapper. She was considered like the CardiB of the Southern African region, and she called herself the queen of hip hop in Botswana. You know, nobody over here hardly knew her at all unless they were African. But I listened to a couple of her joints, including the one that really put her on the map. And I'll say this, like, I used to be very resistant to new school material when it came to music. I was always an old school guy. Like, I didn't want to listen to anything that was made after 2005. Eventually, I came around, and there's some new school stuff that I can dig. I'm still, by and large, mostly old school, but I can at least be honest and admit that some of the new schoolers have talent. I refuse to destroy my nerves and ears by listening to crap from Lady Gaga or Cardi B or Lil Wayne or any of a number of these fucking morons. But there are some people that have pretty decent, newcomers that have pretty decent music that's come out in the last like 15 years. And so Sasa Class, like I said, she's been in the music, the African music industry, mainly in her native country. She's been in the industry for about like 10 years, and she really came into her own last year with a track that she dropped with a guy that she was currently dating at the time called Baxon. I forget the name of it, but I played it in the intro. So that really put her on the map in Africa, so to speak. And she had aspirations of going overseas, going to Europe, going to Korea, cough cough, and eventually coming and doing concerts and a world tour, even here in the United States. But unfortunately for her, those plans were cut short when she met a similar fate as Kobe Bryant. On March 5th, 2021, earlier this year, like I said, she told her mom, according, this is what the family said, y'all saw the press conference like I did, she told her mother that she was leaving for vacation. She didn't say who she was going with, how she was getting there, or why she was going, to some place outside of Botswana, and she'd be back in 2 days. And at some point during that voyage, she got into a helicopter that was flown by this guy, and the helicopter experienced some type of trouble, and just like in the Kobe Bryant situation, the helicopter crash landed shortly after takeoff. Sasa Class, as accounts describe it, actually survived her initial injuries, although severe, but later succumbed to the trauma from her injuries. As witness accounts have it, and as we now know, following the investigation by the Botswanan Police and Aviation Authority. Initially, when the plane went down, it didn't full on crash. When the helicopter went down, it didn't full on crash. It more like crash landed after the tail of the helicopter clipped the top of a rocky hill, and the pilot, Leonard Matinji, lost control of the aircraft and tried to put it down in the field, but instead it bellied down really hard and then rolled over a few times. In that sequence, Mr. Matinji sustained minor injuries, cuts, and bruises, but Sasa Class, she suffered abrasions on her forehead, and she suffered a broken hip, and a piece of the frame of the helicopter actually sliced very deeply into her left thigh, severing her femoral artery. So she was pretty badly hurt, but she was awake and conscious. Mr. Matinji, he stumbled from the helicopter, according to him at least, to go and find help. Now, you have to remember and keep in mind that while there are developed parts of sub-Saharan Africa, most of Africa has no infrastructure. This can even be seen in, glitzy events and, cinema. Even some of Sasa Class's music videos where she collabed with other artists, you can see there's nothing but fucking red dirt out there and, high grass and desert for miles. It's not too many places where you're gonna find the type of scenery that we have here. And that's not because Africa is Africa, it's because, there's not nearly as much urban development as there is in, say, like parts of Western or even Eastern Europe or the United States or even Latin America. It's just a very desolate place from, years and years of neglect from the authoritative bodies there. So finding emergency help in a situation like this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Even if you have, like a cell phone or a smartphone, there are parts of, Botswana, as well as other parts of Africa where there's not a hospital for well over 100 miles. There may not be a town for well over 200 miles. Um, there's no doctor, there's no ambulance service. And so what wound up happening, Mr. Matinji, while he stumbled out, allegedly trying to go to the nearest village, which was about 2 miles away to find help, some people heard the crash and they came over with a couple of vehicles. They went up to the wreckage site and saw Sasa Class profusely bleeding, and they picked her up, not knowing who she was, had never heard of her before. They put her into the bed of a pickup truck and tried to carry her to a field hospital, which was in the next town. But according to the investigative report, she expired en route to that hospital at about 7 p.m. That night, and she had been amongst the helicopter wreckage, bleeding out profusely from her leg and thigh wound for about 2 or 3 hours. Though it's not specific on when the crash occurred, but they believed it was between 4 and 5 o'clock that p.m. that day. Now, if this glorified bimbo had have been able to make it to, even if she had have been able to make it to the nearby field hospital in enough time and hadn't been left there to bleed out by the pilot, it's questionable if she could have survived, because you're still talking about, is that a hospital that has level 3 trauma equipment and trained staff in it to be able to deal with this type of the type of injuries that she sustained. A lot of hospitals in Africa are understaffed, poorly trained, poorly equipped. It's not until you get into like the major cities of Botswana or South Africa, like Johannesburg or Pretoria, where you're going to be talking about top of the line, level 1 through 3 trauma class type hospitals. So she might have been dead meat anyway, even if she made it. But she was, from the witness accounts, she had already been bleeding pretty bad, and that combined with the 100-degree heat out that day, she was pretty much done for by the time they picked her up and put her in the vehicle. Now, as many of you know, the femoral artery is one of the largest arteries in the body, behind the aorta and the carotid arteries, because it connects to the aorta, which pumps blood in and out of the heart, down into the lower extremities, through the thighs, legs, feet, toes, groin area. And the reason why the femoral is one of the largest arteries is because it not only supplies your lower extremities with blood, but also those lower extremities, they help you walk, they help you move, but it's their responsibility to hold the entire weight of the rest of your body up. Okay? So they help you balance as you walk or run or dance or whatever you're doing, and it also has to keep you in a standing up position when you're up and about. So that means whether you're 130 pounds or 300 pounds, the femoral artery has a very important job to do to make sure that those lower extremities, your limbs and your feet, that they are supplied with the proper blood and oxygen to keep you, well balanced, and to keep you from falling over, and to keep you to be able to move. So anybody will tell you, like any type of trauma, a gunshot wound, a slashing wound like a knife, some type of car accident where your thigh is punctured or lacerated and your femoral artery is severed, can be as dangerous as a puncture to your heart or your lungs or your neck, or your head, depending on how quickly you get medical assistance. So, while on the surface, her having because you can see, the way the helicopter rolled over and got smashed completely on one side, with the other side sitting up as it rolled down the hill after clipping the top of the hill. You can see the, kind of her being on the passenger side, how, there were items on that side during the crash that, once the helicopter became a mangled wreck, could have cut her really bad. And while on the surface it may not seem like a big deal, like they try to make it seem like in the movies, that a leg wound or an arm wound are, completely survivable. Well, an arm wound to some degree, but there's dangers there too. If your femoral artery is severed, or even certain nerves or veins in the thighs or legs, that can be very serious, even fatal. And for her, it was in this case, unfortunately. I guess nobody thought to stop the bleeding, but then again, when it comes to major traumatic injuries like those from an aircraft or automobile accident, or even, some type of construction accident where your flesh has been lacerated by a large, heavy piece of concrete or machinery or metal, a person would have to know how to stop the bleeding, tying off a tourniquet, inserting some type of medical sealant into the wound. So I don't know if that would have helped her either. But I just put it like this: having a serious accident in Africa, especially in the rural, like country desert part of Africa, definitely not a place where you want to be getting fucked up at, cause ain't no ambulance coming to save your ass. There ain't no fucking, Lifestar helicopter that's gonna come to lower onto the ground to come pick you up and evacuate you out of there. It's just not gonna happen. Now, there was a lot of controversy surrounding this helicopter crash because initially there were no pictures, there were no witness accounts, there was no air traffic controller transmissions between, the airport or airfield that it took off from and the pilot that was at the controls of the helicopter. The police had not released any official report, nor had other emergency services. It was like a big mystery, and the story didn't even go public until March 7th. The family found out the next day, on March 6th, that Sasa Class had been killed. Now, for Botswanans, the younger millennial generation of Botswanans, Sasa Class's death was equivalent to, like Kobe Bryant's death in the helicopter crash, to, us here in the United States. I'm not talking about us individually, I'm just saying generally speaking. And so, it was heavily covered on social media. It was somewhat covered on, their local media over there, and it was covered throughout the African continent. And some of the story trickled out through, internet here in the United States, though I know most of y'all probably didn't hear about it until now. But then, about a week after the death of this bitch, things started to take a turn for the absurd, as the family released an update about the few details that they were able to find out and gather from the police who were part of the investigating team, investigating the helicopter crash. And it turns out that the pilot that was piloting the helicopter with Sasa Class in it, preparing to leave Botswana and go somewhere else. I think I heard to a rural part of South Africa where he owned some property, was a very wealthy Botswanan who was married. Now, that immediately rose eyebrows. The social media went abuzz, and so did the national media. Like, what is this married ass rich motherfucker doing with this big booty thought? I mean, like I said, the bitch was fine. I wouldn't have stuck my dick in her coming from a place that has 20% HIV rate. I don't care how fine she was. My dick, even with a condom, wouldn't have went nowhere near that bitch. Shit. But nonetheless, obviously that started to raise some eyebrows, and rumors started flying around that Sasa Class was involved in an affair with this man, which makes perfect sense, especially when you look at the history of this fucking hoe. Okay, before she came into her own in music and was moving up the chains in her career, and was kind of getting that CardiB status in Africa, she was a socialite, which is how a lot of these bitches, including CardiB and Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton, start out. They start out hanging around in the circles of the industry, that target industry that they want to be a part of, whether it's the music industry, whether it's Hollywood, yada yada yada, whether it's the political arena, whatever. So and while she was a socialite in the Botswanan on the Botswanan hip hop scene, she was dating a lot of well-known rappers and people involved in their music industry. And it was kind of a scandal even before she was that well known, that she was like some of these guys that she was in a relationship with or dating or fucking, they had girlfriends when she was dating and fucking. So like most of these thought assholes, I mean, she was basically hoeing, being a side piece, I mean, two drumsticks and a thigh side piece, Do you want fries with that side piece? Kentucky Fried Chicken side piece, And that part was not really surprising, okay? But as she moved up the food chain, so to speak, she claimed to fall in love with this dude who went by the stage name Baxton, which is actually his middle name. He was also an artist and a rapper, and they made some music videos together, including the one for her track that put her on the map and went viral. And they were in a relationship for a couple of years, and then they started to have, there were rumors circulating around in early 2020 that even though at one point they were just considering marriage, their relationship was starting to fall apart. And there were rumors that Baxton had left this other girl to be with Sasa Class because at the time, her career was coming up. She was obviously a fine ass bitch. She may have used skin lightener and she may have used fake up on her face, but she was obviously a fine ass bitch. I mean, you can make that up, but we don't know if all that we see is natural or what. The girl was thick. It is what it is. But years after getting into a relationship with her, there were rumors spreading around that he was denying that he was unhappy with Sasa Class because she was very demanding. She was very disrespectful, like most of these bitches. And he was looking for a way out of the relationship secretly, and that he was secretly communicating with his ex, trying to get back with her. But he kept denying it, and saying there ain't nothing between me and my ex, that me and Sasa, we still tight. We're making wedding plans, yada, yada, yada. Well, apparently, there was a controversy well before the helicopter crash in September of 2020, where there were witnesses on a road somewhere in Botswana that saw him driving this expensive car with his girlfriend, Sasa, in the passenger seat, and the car ran out of fucking gas on the road. And so, and obviously there were things leading up to this, but it kind of showed the true character of this bitch Sasa Class, and it became a controversy in and of itself, where Baxton, he got out of the car, and the gas station, the fuel station, was only a few miles up the road. He wanted Sasa Class with her big ass to help him push the car down the road to the gas station. And this bitch didn't want to take her heels off and do it. She thought she was too good for that. Now look, I can see if she was a skinny chick, but I mean, she ain't fat, but she a big ass bitch. I mean, them hips, goddamn, that bitch looked like she could push a fucking bulldozer. It wouldn't have hurt the bitch. I mean, if your man, you should be able to support your man. He just wants you to help him push. That's all. And so, according to witnesses that were there, according to what I've read, there was a big argument so loud that people could hear it, just passing by or driving by, between her and him, because she didn't want to get out and help him push the car. Okay? So, after that, shortly after that argument and after that incident of running out of gas, she announced on Facebook that they had officially broke up. Now, if they had stayed broken up, or if all indications that they were no longer together, then it still would have been scandalous what happened between her and the millionaire before and during the helicopter crash, or her being with that married millionaire dude. But it became even more scandalous when you consider the fact that in December of last year, just a couple of months after announcing the breakup with Baxton, they were seen, including with pictures that she posted across both Facebook and Instagram, back with Baxton in pictures. They were on stage, they were doing music videos, they were in the recording studio, and she was basically calling him her boo again. They were taking portrait photos with each other, and it seemed like they were tight again. And the rumors were stirring that they were back together and they were talking about marriage again. They had their little bug tussle and fight, and everything was good, right? So that made things even more perplexing when just 3 months later she dies in this mysterious helicopter crash, and come to find out the helicopter is owned and flown by this rich millionaire dude that's married to another bitch, which indicates that Sasa Class was fucking cheating on this nigga Baxton, that her fucking crusty big ass didn't want to help push a motherfucking car a couple of miles down the fucking road to a fucking gas station. Cause she a gold digging ass bitch and a ghetto gagging asshole like the rest of these bitches. That's why. And I tell you, I've been saying for years, since I've come to my awakening about Africa and Africans, that them bitches over there ain't no different than these hoes over here. What I didn't know was the gravity, the length to which of how bad it was, how really, really bad it was with ratchet behavior and thotism in Africa. Them bitches see these reality TV shows from over here. They must have they must be able to get international channels through whatever services they get over there for TV. And even if not, they definitely gonna get it on the internet. Them bitches see that reality TV shit like Bad Girls Club and House Whores of Atlanta and Basketball Wives. They see, they've already been, they have a huge hip hop industry over there that's influenced obviously by ours like the rest of the world. And them motherfucking hoes are literally mimicking everything that these raggedy bitches do over here. From the weave to the skin lightener to the thought attire to the twerking to the stirring up stupid ass drama on social media and talking about toxic masculinity that doesn't exist. Them African hoes fully want to insert themselves into American female and especially black female fuckery over there. I mean, I have seen it with my own motherfucking eyes. Them bitches are fucked up, and what's worse, they want to be fucked up like these hoes over here. The way these hoes over here act is not only influential, but it's seen, Thotism, American Thotism is seen as a come up by a lot of them bitches over there in Africa. I would not have imagined 10 years ago, in 100 years, that bitches in Africa could be as ratchet and as scandalous and as fucking stupid as these bitches over here. But here it is. Here we are. In the year 2021. It is official, folks. Thotism has officially taken over fucking Africa. At least South Africa. Like the southern part of Africa, motherfucking South Africa, and then Namibia, Zimbabwe, fucking Botswana, what we talking about now. Thotism, American style Thotism has officially taken over the southern region of fucking Africa. Them toasty ass niggas over there are fucking done. They are done like a free lunch on Friday. They are done, bruh. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling. If I wasn't a Marlboro man, it would almost be mind-boggling. How the striking similarities. And how these bitches want to familiarize themselves with feminism. Because essentially that's what they're doing. The African female in general, the millennial female especially over there, she is trying to align herself with the feminist, the toxic feminist movement over here. Them bitches are starting to talk the same way. They twerk the same way. They dress the same way. They look the same way. If you looked at this motherfucking bitch with all that skin lightening and fake up on and that wig and them weaves stupid bitch be wearing, the fucking Madison Street hooker look that she got going on. If you didn't read the article and know who this bitch was, what happened to her and where she was from, you'd think she was just one of these raggedy hoes over here, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. Is that where it is? Is that where we're at as black people now? That we all gotta be fucked up all around the world. I mean, you know there ain't no hope for niggas in Europe and North America. You know there ain't no hope for them. You'd hope that there was some hope for niggas in like Africa or the Caribbean and South America. But these niggas ain't got no hope. But now, man, it's looking bleaker and bleaker and bleaker, even in Africa. So, needless to say, this whole dying in that helicopter crash, that's, like they say, that's one less nigga. One less nigga bitch doing nigga bitch shit. Okay? I guess that African dude gonna have to find some other HIV, AIDS infested fucking big booty fat ass hoe to stick his dick in. I don't know. I mean, he's a millionaire, so, he probably get pussy like 40 going north anyway. But to compound it, bro, this is when I knew it wasn't even her that let me know Africa was done. Like, North American niggas is done. It wasn't even her. It wasn't even the story of this fat ass bitch. Because, I told y'all, female nature is universal. Okay? Niggas think they gonna run to some other part of the earth, The very monkey that's sitting up here criticizing my dolls was just engaged to some raggedy ass fucking Mexican bitch last year. Now he's talking about, I aligned myself with Marlboro Manism because, women are toxic. Yeah, did you find that out before or after you was talking about putting a ring on it, you stupid motherfucker? But we gonna get to him and climbing Mount Dusty. But anyway, I mean, we know that female nature is universal. So while this is quite the scandal, while she was quite the hoe, before she got, turned into maggot food in that field in Botswana, before all of that, okay, even after all of that, after all of that, what blew it out the water, bruh, was her boyfriend that she got back with. She broke up with, they broke up. I don't know who broke up with who, or if they broke up together. They broke up in September 2020 because she was mad that he wanted her to help him to support her man to get her lazy fat ass. She's only used to shaking her fat ass. She's not used to using that. She working out in the gym. She doing that type of work, but she thinks she's too good to get out in Africa of all fucking places and push a fucking car down a fucking dirt road a couple of miles to help both of them out. She thinks she's that fucking special. I'm telling you, man. So, then they get back together in December. But it wasn't even all of that, bro. It was her ex-boyfriend's response when the rumor started floating around that she was indeed cheating on him after they got back together in December. And when she died in that helicopter crash, and you know what people are thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. This bitch, we know she was a socialite before she got with this nigga, and before her career got on the come up. Her career probably got on the come up based on her history and based on the fact that them hoes over there want to do the same thing these hoes over here do. She was probably sucking and fucking dudes in the music industry, and rich and powerful men to get on the come up, okay? And then she broke up with this nigga with her gold digging ass because he wanted her to help him, push a car down the fucking road. So this probably was not the first trip that she was taking with this millionaire dude. And nigga, come on, man. He wasn't taking her nowhere for no damn social occasion or to, get some coffee and donuts or taking her on some fucking tour, taking her on safari. He was taking her in that helicopter to get somewhere to a remote location, and there are plenty of remote locations in Africa. He was taking her somewhere to get that ass. That bitch was a free agent. Just like these hoes over here talking about, they body, they choice, they can do whatever they want to do, even if they in a relationship. That raggedy fucking African ghetto gagging ass thought she was a free agent. That dude in that helicopter, probably the reason the motherfucker crashed was she was sucking his goddamn dick while he was on the damn liftoff trying to get the goddamn helicopter up to a certain altitude where they could fly where they was trying to go. Bitch sucked the goddamn strength out of his damn arms and he couldn't control the helicopter no more. Lost control of that motherfucker and it crashed. I told y'all, boy. Africa gonna get it in today, bro. Woo, these niggas done fucked up. They done fucked the fuck up. That's why that helicopter crashed, nigga. She was sucking the shit out that nigga dick. Couldn't wait to get that cum down her fucking throat. Fucking bitch. Got what she deserved, boy. Fuck this hoe. But yeah, bro, you know that, bruh. You know that wasn't the first time that they had been together. She was probably cheating on him with multiple dudes. She had all kinds of dudes that she was the side chick of. Again, this millionaire dude was married and she was in a relationship that had been rekindled. That don't matter to these hoes. That's what I try to tell you stupid ass niggas. You think you gonna go to another country, get a girlfriend, and she ain't gonna what? Cheat on you? She ain't gonna treat you like shit when you ain't got it no more? Or you refuse to give it? Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Okay? It's female nature. And female nature, one of the things that it guarantees is that a bitch's love is conditional. Okay? I don't know what idiot came up with that term love unconditional, because one thing I've learned, which is why I don't waste my time with relationships or even being in the physical company of people, including other men anymore, is that love, just like any other emotion, is indeed conditional. Okay? Your best friend can turn on you. Okay? It ain't even got to be an intimate relationship. This hoe was out fucking this millionaire dude and probably a couple of other dudes behind this nigga backs and back. And this is what put the cherry on top. Like I said, I forgot. I ventured off. This is when, and I'm going to close with this, but this is when I knew that Africa was done. When this boy Baxton, her boyfriend that they got back together in late last year, when he pulled a simp move, bruh, got on Facebook Live, and instead of criticizing her for cheating on him with this millionaire dude, he's sitting up here pleading with the public the Botswanan public and the media that's feeling sorry for him, because they realized that this hoe was hoeing behind his back and probably would have never got caught had she not died in that fucking helicopter crash. He's getting on there criticizing the people that are standing up for him and saying, please, y'all, I don't care what happened. Leave her alone and let her rest in peace. Let her family have peace. Y'all stop spreading these rumors. Nigga, it's not a rumor, my boy. It's not a rumor, my dude. She was in a helicopter with a fucking married millionaire. What the fuck? You think he was taking her on sightseeing tours? What the fuck you thought he was going? Oh yeah, babe, let's go get some cheeseburgers at McDonald's in Cape Town. Yeah, it's only a few hundred miles away. Then I'll take you back to your boyfriend. Nigga, what you think she doing? She was probably sucking his dick before the motherfucking helicopter lifted off. That's probably why he lost control of the shit. And that's also probably why the police are covering up. He paid somebody. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. In the autopsy, the fucking medical examiner, they found semen in and around her fucking mouth. I'm telling you. And they're like, what the fuck? They went to send the police and detectives to investigate that dude. Like, what the fuck? What, sir, was she performing fellatio on you while you were operating the aircraft? And you know what that nigga did? He was like, I'll pay y'all $100,000 to stay quiet. Because everybody, all the people in Botswana, that were fans of her and know about this shit, they saying, why are the police so fucking quiet about what happened? Like, they ain't released a report. The family had to come out and say the little bit of information that they knew. That's the only way people knew who was flying the fucking helicopter. She didn't even want to tell her own mama where the fuck she was going or who she was going with, bro.
And listen, man, it's obvious that they were up to no fucking good. A final investigative report found out that the fucking pilot, Leonard Matenji, this motherfucker actually switched the transponder off or never turned it on and didn't file a flight plan with their aviational authority before taking off from the capital in Botswana to the farm near where the helicopter crashed. So that means, as per in the conclusion of the investigation of the aviation authority in Botswana, that he was intentionally, trying to stay under the radar, literally. He didn't want anybody to know where he was coming from, and he didn't want nobody to know where he was going to. Why would a helicopter pilot or any type of pilot not have their transponder on and not file a flight plan with, the aviation department, letting them know, what route they're planning to take and when? Why wouldn't they do that? Now, I understand that on the one hand, this is Africa, it's underdeveloped, it's third world. People probably do this shit all the time. But at the same time, this nigga was whole ass married when this shit went down. Okay, as per what one of the investigators told a court, when he published his final report, he said that the helicopter the aircraft was essentially invisible to us, because it couldn't be tracked on radar. It couldn't be tracked by air traffic control. As a matter of fact, we only knew that it was in flight after hearing of the report of the crash. So he was clearly, in violation as far as breaking, laws that were set forth by UN aviation safety standards. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of those African countries, because they're so underdeveloped, they basically just set their rules based on, what United Nations, NATO, or some other international watchdog group or governmental body decides is safe or righteous. So their whole aviation safety standards are based on what the UN's official safety book says, and he was in clear violation of that. Okay, he was trying to be fucking slick. He was trying to slip that hoe onto his ranch or wherever else they was going, fuck her, and then slip back out, because he said that the day of the crash, they left his office. She parked her car in the parking lot of his office in a small city in the southeast corner of Botswana, near the border with South Africa, in the Soweto region. And they boarded the fucking helicopter not far away and flew 3 miles across open country. Right? Now, why are they doing that? Why is she parking her car? Why doesn't she pull her car? If she want to go see him, why don't she drive her fucking car up to his place? Why she gotta park her shit? And keep in mind, I seen shit like this happen in the United States, where people, 2 different cars pull up to a fucking Walmart, and one person gets out of one car and gets in the other one, and they take off. And I'm saying, that don't make no fucking sense. They're not shopping here. What are they doing? You know what's going down. Either they doing one or two things. Either they selling drugs or involved in some other type of illicit activity, or they cheating on somebody, a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife. That's what they're doing. There's no other reason to switch fucking cars in the middle of, or switch vehicles, whether it's an aircraft or an automobile, in the middle of a fucking parking lot, and then fly across country, even if it's just a short voyage, with your fucking tracking devices switched off, and you ain't telling nobody where you're going, including the appropriate authorities. The motherfuckers was being slick. She was doing what she had probably done several fucking times before, which is she gonna go in, slob his knob, he gonna break her off, a little cash, and then she gonna go back to backs and kiss his dumb simp ass right in the mouth and act like nothing ever happened. And I know he probably, them countries so fucking corrupt and crooked, bro. I know he probably bribed somebody to keep from being charged, because the final report it said that the investigation of the aviation authority led the court to send the case over to the Botswanan police authority, meaning, they were saying that this is now a matter that should be considered for possible criminal investigation. That was not too long ago. But then a while later, flash forward to now, and they still ain't charged his ass, which means they have no intention to charge his ass. Because what they found out in the investigation was, not only was this motherfucker trying to be slick and not following proper flight protocol, by filing a flight plan and by, switching his transponder off, but he was also flying way too low. They brought in like 2 or 3 different witnesses, including one that was a professional pilot. They said he was flying way too low to the ground when the shit happened. And the reason why he was flying low was the same fucking reason why he was less than 1,000 feet from the ground, was the same reason why his transponder was off and why he didn't file a flight plan. Because he was trying to trying to stay below the radar. There was a military base near there, and they would have picked him up. He was trying to stay below the radar where he couldn't be detected at all. He claimed that he did it because, you know, he was inspecting the fence line at his ranch. Bullshit. This nigga was trying to be slick. He was trying to be slick on his wife and probably everybody else. And Sasa probably didn't want nobody to know either. Okay? You saw how evasive she was and the way she was reacting when they was asking her about, you know, rich sugar daddies, which incidentally is a huge problem in sub-Saharan Africa as it is here. Okay? She was going to be on some fucking hoe shit. That's what it was. And she got caught dead stupid, and so did he. But ain't nothing gonna happen to him because he got too much money. You know he breaking somebody off something. He even said that they left the parking lot of his office in the you know, after she parked her car in, you know, at the, you know, at the parking lot or near wherever the heliport was, wherever he had that motherfucker. He probably landed in the parking lot. This motherfucker was trying to do that shit slick as hell. And he said they left for the destination, which was his ranch, and he planned to bring her back the next morning to the same spot where she parked her car. He said he planned to return at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a fucking booty call, bro. And listen, I understand that that's what happens, not just in this scenario, but all across the way. What I'm saying is, motherfuckers, is particularly her fucking boyfriend and the rest of you simp ass niggas, you need to stop being blinded by the BS of these females that always want to talk about how niggas ain't shit and niggas can't be trusted, they're gonna cheat on you. A lot of times these hoes are self-projecting, okay? When you catch them red-handed, that's if you fuck with them, because personally, I feel like you shouldn't fuck with them in the first place, so you don't have to go through this type of shit. But if you fuck with them, you catch them red-handed, okay? Ain't no fucking excuses. Don't let her try to flip the script on your ass. Just turn around, stick your middle finger out, grab your shit, and go. Leave her with whatever dick was last in her fucking mouth. Don't try to argue that shit. And another thing that a lot of y'all need to understand, okay, is a lot of y'all need to understand that you need to go into relationships. You need to go into the dating game if that's what you're planning on doing, because it's more than apparent to me at this point that most men are not going to live the Marlboro Man lifestyle. If you're going to deal with these hoes, you need to go into it expecting that she's going to cheat on you, okay? Expecting that she's going to leave you as soon as something better come up, okay? So you don't get yourself too emotionally involved like this Baxon fucking Captain Save-Ho and other fucking fools that want to lie to themselves like these hoes are queens or his boo. What did David Carroll tell y'all about this shit, bro? He spent the second half of his life trying to warn you about these hoes, especially you black men. Ain't no telling how many dudes went through this bitch while her and Baxon were in a relationship, bro. Ain't no telling. I mean, the dude she was with was low-level scum anyway, so it does not, you know, surprise me that he was cheating on his wife with this big booty bimbo hoe. Because how did he come into his wealth, or at least the African version of it? He basically has a hunting ranch. It's called the Zumambi Game Ranch, right? Where, you know, he rents it out to hunting parties. And what does that mean in Africa? I'll tell you what that means in Africa. 90% of the time it means that rich, wealthy, and bored white, usually European white men, sometimes Asians and other non-black people, come there once again for shits and giggles to Africa to rob the continent, or in whatever respective country they're in, of the natural resources that it has, including its wildlife, okay? So he was running a ranch, you know, a fucking hunting ranch. Motherfuckers was coming on there, murdering animals that they probably wasn't even taking for dinner. I seriously doubt that most of his customers were black Botswanans or black at all, unless they were privileged like he was, or her mama was, okay? It's just a place for white poachers to go and fucking murder and kidnap and kidnap animals from the so-called motherland. This bitch ass nigga Leonard Matinji, he was just another fucking sellout, just like the rest of those fucking privileged ass niggas over there, like the rest of them coons. But he found two uses for that shit, cause when the land wasn't being rented out to nobody, you know, he had a little private quarters there where when he wanted to be slick with his wife, he left home, picked the hoe up, took her to the ranch, and did a little poking of his own. Talking about they was gonna return 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. Nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. Talking about he just took her on a sightseeing tour. Yeah, you was taking her on a sightseeing tour. We know what she was seeing, even in that helicopter, nigga. That's why your ass wasn't paying attention to where the fuck you was going. Stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard. Talking about he was inspecting the fence line. Motherfucker, what the fuck? Why can't this show you how stupid he is? Why the fuck can't you inspect the fence line after you get out the fucking helicopter, nigga? After you land the bitch. Yeah. She was inspecting something too, wasn't she? Bitch ass nigga.
She was fucking around on this boy. And he's sitting up here simping. Did y'all see him on YouTube? That Facebook Live that was re-uploaded to YouTube? This little weak bitch ass nigga was crying for this female that was sucking another dude's dick. The fuck is wrong with these niggas? And then that's when it hit me like a light bulb. Not only are there just as many thoughts and nigga bed wenches over there, not only do they have as much dysfunction, violence, murder, poverty as we do over here, they got simps over there, nigga. They got Captain Save-A-Hoes. They got simps and cap. How can you feel sorry for a bitch you what? I could see if they were married and they had kids. They had a family together. She cheated on me. That hurt, but her death hurts me more. Okay. I'll give you that. Okay, it's gonna be hard for a person that you've been with for years, the mother of your children, to say, you know, fuck that bitch. She was sucking another dude dick behind my back. Good. I'm glad she died in a helicopter crash. I hope it hurt, motherfucker. Say, I hope she pee-peed on herself before she died. But I can understand that. But bro, this bitch was just a fling, man. Just like Alicia Keys when that nigga Swiss Beats left his ex. Or Dwayne Wade's dumbass left his ex. Or I think, didn't that dude, the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, didn't he leave his ex for Ciara? These dumbass dudes leaving women they already with for these industry hoes, man. Baxton did the same thing with this bitch. He left a girl that he had for this big booty thought ass bitch. And here she is sucking other niggas' dicks behind her back. Giving up that big yellow meat ass. Well, like I said, she was skin lighter. I don't know how light skinned she actually was, but giving up that big yellow meat ass to this dude in this fucking helicopter, bruh. She was on a mission, bruh. And it was mission possible. Not impossible. That boy, that millionaire dude, that boy was about to tear them ham hocks the fuck up. They was probably so hot, so getting into it, that I'm telling you, bro, that's probably why that helicopter crashed, and that's probably why the government and the police are keeping a lid on that shit. Cause it would be embarrassing to this dude. He done already got caught with a big booty thought ass African hoe. He's married, okay? He probably has, you know, business investments that might be at risk, you know, if certain things come out about him. And they was probably getting it in the helicopter while the motherfucker was flying. That's probably why the shit lost control. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, it was probably the reason why he survived. I'm cold. Ain't I a cold-blooded motherfucker? Y'all gonna find out how much colder I am in climbing Mount Dusty, but ain't I a cold-blooded motherfucker? Ain't nobody talk shit like me. But the reason why that nigga, now that I think about it, the reason why he probably survived was because her head and big ass body was between his legs, cushioning between him and the fucking steering wheel of that fucking helicopter and all the front dashboard of the helicopter. So when the shit crashed, his fucking dick and the rest of his fucking body fucking was cushioned into her, and she took the full force of the fucking impact as the helicopter hit the fucking ground. Shit, that's probably why he walked away without a fucking scratch. Shit, probably the only thing that got broken that motherfucker besides the helicopter was his dick. That dick. Oh my God, man. Let me go my dumb ass to bed. Alright, y'all. Y'all done heard the story. I'm done. I'm done clowning this bitch. Over and out. Fuck these hoes. Hashtag Marlboro for life. Hashtag dog culture. And if you don't like it, go fuck yourself, bitch ass nigga. You can have these hoes. All of them. Talk to you later, guys.
Kill it with the lyrics. Ain't nobody want it, but they really gotta get it. Motherfuckers always hating, but I know them niggas feel it. Do a nigga dirty with some ice in the glove. Break a nigga leg, and if you packing any weapon, I'ma use it on him. You gon' never get it back. Nigga, I'ma school you, you the nigga with the bag. Sit your ass down, you a little sister class.